Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks, and this evening I'm joined by...
Sarah?
Mark.
And we just finished playing Endure the Stars. Now, this is a sci-fi, futuristic survival horror, and it's sort of scenario-driven, so a bit like Descent, that kind of thing. You can play individual episodes, if you like, missions, or you can string a few of them together into a kind of mini campaign thing. But you can see these are the heroes that we were playing, and the game comes with quite a lot of the different heroes you can choose from. I got this on Kickstarter, so there's a lot of gender variants in there as well. And then you get all the gribbly monsters that come in and try and attack you as you try and complete the mission. So for this particular mission, we started over here and we had to collect some specimen from the science lab. And then we had to come down here and unlock the exit door, which was over here. So we'll kind of make our way through, unlock it, and then get to the exit before we get overrun by all the swarms of aliens that keep coming. It's an action point system where you actually play the game, so each of you takes it in turn, and when it's your go, you can move from sort of one zone to the next zone, or you can go in through these doors and move into here. Most of the aliens actually start off on the board as these radar blips, and when you move into line of sight of one of these things, it gets revealed, and you'll stick some of the appropriate aliens on here. So in this case, we needed to put 4 of the Jaegers, which are these guys, would appear in that room, and then after all the players have taken actions, then all the monsters get actions, and basically they rush in and hit you and do damage. So each player has a board like this, which tracks health. And one of the interesting things about this is each character has resolve. So every time you are faced with a fresh alien, your resolve is checked, and you roll a couple of dice. And if you roll less than your resolve, so my resolve is currently 9, and I've rolled 8, so I was very lucky there. If you roll less, you're fine. But if you roll more or equal to your resolve, it goes down by 1. And as your resolve goes down, it triggers these bad things. When my resolve gets down to 6, this would get triggered. And in this case, I would randomly shoot at somebody. So that could obviously be bad for each of us. And they usually get worse as they go down. So like this number 3, for example, you can no longer use your passive ability. Each character has a bunch of special abilities that they can use, and that stops mine from working. So as your resolve goes away, in this case, I lose my memory and I can't do the things I used to be able to do. Each character can equip headgear, like a helmet here, or armor, or other weapons. One of the actions you can do when you're in a room like this is search, and you just draw off a deck like this. So I've got a medkit that's useful, and you kind of add it to your supply of items. And I managed to pick up a void cannon, which is great. When you attack, you roll a bunch of dice, so in this case 6 dice, which is a lot, and you're hitting, in this case, on a 2+. The void cannon requires a power cell to be used, though, so once I've used the power cell, it's gone. It's like a one-shot weapon. But if you spend too much time searching, then you might, somewhere in here, there we go, make noise. And little noise tokens will then pop up in whatever location you were searching on. And if you shoot a weapon, each weapon also has a noise rating. So the void cannon is a very noisy gun. It makes a 4 noise rating. So this one, the noise rating then potentially attracts creatures from around which will rush towards where the noise is. So if they can see you, they run towards you. But if they can't see you, and maybe through the wall, if this was on the other side, it would still start making its way around through the door to get to me if it hears the noise. So you've got to be a little bit careful about that. One of the other actions you can take on your turn is actually to make noise. So you can try and distract the aliens and get them to go where you want them to go, and then try running around the other side. So you move, you make noise, you search for stuff, you can attack and shoot by rolling the dice, and you're trying to complete the mission, which varies from scenario to scenario. A couple of other things at the end of each round. There's an event that's drawn, which may spawn new aliens, or in this case, lockdown. All the doors lock. So all these doors that you're using to go in and out of the room kind of flip over to the red side, and then you can't get into that room anymore for that round. And then at the end of the next round, all the doors will open, and you get a new event, and it carries on like that. All right, what do we think?
I really, really enjoyed this. To start off with, I thought it was quite like Zombicide, where you're attracting people, well, attracting aliens, or in Zombicide, obviously zombies with noise, like we're shooting them out. But it's quite different. I didn't feel like it was so similar to Zombicide that you could not have both of these games with it as well, because you've got like little like cards with where you've got abilities on it on here. So one of my ones that was actually really key on this one was when an event card came up, I could roll a dice, and if I rolled a 6, then it would get rid of the event. So there was ones where there'd be like blackouts, and like we'd all be taking damage. So I was able to then get rid of some of them, and everybody else had their own individual abilities, which was absolutely brilliant. Really glad that my resolve didn't end up going down, because if I had have done, I'd have been suicidal and I would have killed myself. So that's a really good addition to the game. I do really like it. Yeah, I would be very interested in playing more of this and finding out more and going through everything.
Okay, Mark?
Yeah, I agree with Sarah. This has taken a lot from Zombicide as like the noise in particular, why things move towards noise is very similar. The way weapons are used, how much you can hold. I mean, some of these are almost carbon copies of how it works in Zombicide. But the player abilities, the resolve effects are very different. I do like on this how the blips move around. I think they add it makes it feel different to many games like that, because you know stuff's on the board. You just don't know what it is or how much of it's there. It adds a bit more to it.
I should probably explain that actually, because that is interesting. If I take a little blip token here. So imagine this blip starts here. At the point when they move, until it detects something, like it hears a noise or sees somebody, you roll the direction die. And depending on which direction it points in, so that kind of indicates this way. If there isn't anything in that direction, you just move clockwise until you get to a viable exit, and then it moves that way. So they kind of randomly move around the map each time by rolling the direction die.
Yeah. I guess similar to Zombicide, you've got limited searches that kind of played the same. It's very like Zombicide in sci-fi, but they've added enough twists on it that I think are generally improvements. I mean, I've not played Zombicide Black Plague, so that has got a fix for it, but the friendly fire rules in this are better. Zombicide is you hit your friends first and then you move down to zombies, which is bizarre. At least in this, you only hit your fellow people if you miss. So yeah, it's got a lot of variances and fixes. It doesn't play any slower than Zombicide. I think it's probably got much variation depending on the rules. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Rating out of 10?
I think I'd give it, on a first play, somewhere between 6.5 and a 7. I think I need to play more of it, because I think we were a little lucky that this mission was just very easy for us. We kind of walked it.
Yeah. Sarah?
I would actually say 8. I did very much enjoy this.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked it as well. We were playing with my son as well tonight, and he really likes it. It's simple enough that you can kind of blast through it. I will say that the rules aren't particularly well written, and it was a bit of a headache trying to get the hang of how it all works. There's quite a few areas where you're like, what does this mean? How does this work again? But having taken the time to go through it all, it actually plays pretty quickly now. So once you know what you're doing, it's fine. And there's loads and loads of missions and campaigns in the book that you can work through. I should say between scenarios, if you're doing a campaign, you get this... what they call the refuge board here. So between turns, you can try and heal up and get your resolve back. So you go to the infirmary, for example, and roll a dice, but if you're not careful, it might be a botched operation and you might actually get injured instead of healing your health. So there's a nice little few things to do between missions, and then there's a time track here which forces you to then go back out into the ship to try and fight the aliens again and complete your missions. So that all works very well. So yeah, nice and straightforward. As they were saying, there's enough interesting things like the resolve checks, the noise and all that, to mean I'd be very happy playing this many times again, I think. So I think like Sarah, I'd be on an 8 out of 10. Yeah, very much enjoyed this one. All right, thanks for watching. That was Endure the Stars.